Good day, grade 10s. Today we are looking at another poem, A Young Man's Thoughts Before June the 16th. Now, to put it in context, the poet is actually talking about a well known event in the history of South Africa. In 1976, teenagers or the youths of South Africa embarked on a march in protest of the education system. And now the poet assumes that he is one of the students who participated in this march. So he presents the poem from the point of view of one of those teenagers who embarked on the march. Hence, he calls it A Young Man's Thoughts Before June the 16th. Okay, A Young Man's Thoughts Before June the 16th, written by Faisal Johannes. So he says, tomorrow I travel on a road that winds to the top of the hill. I take with me only the sweet memories of my youth. My heart aches for my mother, for Friday nights with friends, around the table with the broad belch of beer. I ask only for a sad song, sung by a woman with downturned eyes, and strummed by an old man with a broken brow. Oh, sing my sad song, sing for me, for my sunset is drenched with red. Quite a sad poem indeed. I will take you to the next slide. Remember, during the presentation of the first poem, I said that please use these notes in conjunction with the notes that we handed out to you. Okay. Now, as I said already in the introduction, that the poet, Faisal Johannes, is assuming that he was embarking on that journey. He assumes the role of one of those students who embarked on this march on June the 16th, way back in 1976. So the poet is writing on behalf of the young men who took part in the march in South Africa on June the 16th in 1976 and captures a day before the event, foreseeing the tragedy that would take place. Hence the use of tomorrow in line 1. If you go to the poem, you will realize that I've highlighted the poem to indicate some of the words that I will make emphasis on in the presentation. The second point, the road you will travel is a metaphor to life's journey. He says, tomorrow I will travel on a road. Now that road is metaphoric. You've often heard of the phrase, life is a journey. And he adds that it is winding. Now the fact that it is winding suggests that it is going to be a long road. It's going to be difficult. Please take note. He actually says that the road is going to the top of the hill. Again, to emphasize that that task is quite difficult. Point number 3, line 3 and line 4 invoke a sense of sympathy, as the poet suggests that he will be unarmed, but carry along only sweet memories of his youth. Now take note, they are going on a march against an oppressive government. They are the youths. They have nothing to defend themselves. All they have are those sweet memories. Now, the fact that he remembers these sweet memories or takes these sweet memories clearly shows that the memories are very dear to him, okay, as he classifies them as sweet. And the next point, in line 5, he's quite aware that his mother will be in grief when he departs. Firstly, she will grieve because he's embarking on a protest. And remember, back then, this was the apartheid regime. For students to embark on a march was very dangerous. There was no guarantee of coming back. And the poet is saying these youths knew that they would not come back. That's why, in this instance, he is capturing the feelings of the mother, that the mother will grieve first for the protest that he's embarking on, and then his foreseen death or demise. He adds that his social life meant a lot to him, as he thinks also of the Friday nights with friends. It actually adds a sense of sacrifice on his part. Next point. To further support that he knows he will not return, he asks only for a third song, suggesting that he does not wish to be grieved for long. He only asks for one thing, a sad song. He further suggests that the woman with the downturned eyes should be singing that sad song. And we are presuming that this woman with downturned eyes is probably his mother, or symbolically, all the other mothers who are to lose their sons as well. Take note, her eyes are downturned to show that she is grieving, to show that there is a sense of loss. He goes on to mention an old man strumming the guitar. And this old man could symbolize his father. He speaks of the broken brow. Now, this broken brow may literally refer to the man's physical features. So remember, when we are grieving, we do not have straight faces. Our foreheads tend to furrow or to wrinkle. So perhaps he's suggesting that because of grief, the brow may be out of place as the father um, physically changes his face to show that he's grieving. Or there truly is a physical scar, perhaps a result of brutality. Next, there is a call for unity in line 12, as the poet asks others to join in mourning him. Again, there is an indication that he is aware of his fate. So, what Johannes is saying is that these youths probably knew. Remember, he wasn't there. He's assuming that these were the thoughts that were going through the minds of the teenagers as they embarked on that journey. Next, the concluding line is a metaphor of his life as it comes to an end. He calls it my sunset. My sunset is drenched with red. The sunset is the end of his life. Remember in the beginning, he's embarking on a journey. And we said it's a metaphor of the journey of life. And now, at the end of the protest, at the end of the day, he knows that he will be no more. Hence, at sunset, he knows that he will die. And the phrase drenched with red, we all know what to be drenched is, to be filled with water, to be filled with a liquid. In this case, he says drenched with red. Red giving us a symbol of blood. Now, when it's drenched, he wants to present a clear picture that his death will be brutal, his death will be a violent one, filled with a lot of bloodshed. Remember, these armed forces that they were going up against, armed with rifles, he knew that his death was likely to be brutal and violent. So having said that, obviously, the poem is quite sad and the tone is mournful, basing on the content that we see in the poem. It's a young man who's embarking on a journey, and he knows that he will not make it out of there alive. Hence, it's sad and mournful. And the theme of the poem, during times of apartheid, the vulnerability of those who have less. That is the end of the presentation. So these last two slides simply have the questions for you to work on. You have them in the handout, but I've just taken the time to put them up on the presentation in the event that you lost the handout. Please answer the questions in your poetry